The Green Fork, blood on the Trident. Prologue. Mist lay over the Green Fork River like a white blanket, hiding the dawn. Hundreds of crows circled above the camp, as if sensing a feast of death. The ground was soft and wet, smelling of mud and blood that had yet to be spilled, but was already lingering in the air. Lord Roose Bolton sat atop a dark horse, watching the river. Behind him were the rows of northern warriors with wooden shields and spears, simple but determined. They knew that this day was the young wolf's chance, Robb Stark's, to achieve a victory over the Lannisters and prove that the North still lived. On the opposite bank, Tywin Lannister's army gathered. Bright red cloaks and golden lions on their shields glimmered through the morning mist. Their ranks were deep and disciplined, like an iron wall, and the air already smelled not only of mud but of smoke, the anticipation of battle. Ancient legend said that the Green Fork had once flowed with clear water, but now it remembered all the battles of the Trident. It would remember this one too, and in its current, mixed with mud and blood, the faces of those who would never return home would be reflected. Chapter 1. Preparing for Battle. The sun slowly rose over the forests of the Riverlands. Every Stark warrior knew their strength lay in speed and cunning. Roose Bolton studied the enemy's lines, feeling the cold in his back. Every Lannister soldier seemed ready to withstand any assault. "Let the river be our fortress," Bolton said as he rode among his men. "We cannot yield a single step." They set traps in the water, stationed small squads in the forests and bushes, and prepared the horses for sudden charges. Fear and determination mingled, creating the sense of an impending catastrophic whirlwind. On the opposite bank, the Lannisters were preparing for a full assault. Tywin watched silently as his generals bent over maps. Their advantage lay in discipline and numbers. But would it be enough against northern cunning? Chapter 2. The First Strike. The morning mist had barely lifted when the first Stark cavalry charged forward. Their hooves pounded the earth, kicking up dust, while the warriors' cries cut through the stillness. The attack relied on surprise. Their goal was not to annihilate the enemy, but to distract, sow chaos, and breach the front lines. The Lannisters responded. Crossbow bolts whistled through the air, and several horses fell, neighing in pain. Steel met steel, and the first song of war began. The clash of shields, the screech of swords, and the cries of the mortally wounded. Roose Bolton commanded a unit of infantry. He saw the enemy trying to hold formation, but the North's cunning was already laying traps. A flanking ambush surrounded several Lannister ranks, and panic began to spread among them. Chapter 3. Chaos on the Green Fork. The field of battle quickly descended into chaos. The river divided the sides but did not stop the bloodshed. Soldiers fleeing fell into the water, drifting with wagons. The wet ground turned into a trap for the heavy cavalry. The Lannisters, unaccustomed to such a surprise, began to panic. Their red cloaks tangled in bushes, spears broke under the pressure of northern warriors, and battle cries mixed with the roar of the river. "Hold the line!" shouted a Lannister commander, trying to restore order. But chaos had already taken root in their ranks. Northern warriors, despite being outnumbered, used their agility and knowledge of the terrain. They knew where the mud would trap the enemy, where bushes concealed ambushes. Every strike of their sword or spear felt like part of an invisible symphony of death. Chapter 4. Heroes on the Battlefield. Amid the chaos, certain heroes stood out. Roose Bolton, cold and calculating, used ambushes and clever maneuvers, directing attacks to maximize enemy panic. Senior Stark infantry, rescuing cavalry from the mud, maintained order in their ranks, decisively cutting down enemies breaking through. Young Lannisters, like Ser Jason Lon and his brothers, fought desperately, but their forces were scattered, and even iron armor could not protect against the cold northern steel. Every strike, every cry, every horse and man falling left its mark on the air and the earth, a reminder that war was not only strategy, but survival.